We're back. I found the problem. It was some wire glitch. I don't know what it was. Anyway, we're joining with Nexton as he's having a little battle of his own with Stav, and he moves up into P4. What's going on here? What's going on here? Why is this all glitching out? Why is Adam a minute behind Quistro? Question mark. Is this better now? If it is, tell me. Generally, I don't think it's that bad. Anyway, Boss already building on a second lead to Quistro. James the Eagle trying to find an extra pace. Obviously, DRS enable next lap. That's going to come in handy for the drivers. D. McManaman takes over from K. Not Gonna Lie. K. Not Gonna Lie going for a freeway battle right now, it seems like. And probably a move down from the inside. It's going 3 wide. And K. Not Gonna Lie regains 9th. And he goes a bit wide and back into Det Totsi. Goes into P9. K. Not Gonna Lie drops down to P11. And McManaman stays in between. It's better. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I did not know what happened. I fixed it, but I don't know what happened. It's probably YouTube effing up with. I'm not too sure. Okay, so there's some interesting battles off to start with, and so far in Belgium, it's not something you normally get, but we got it, and it starts shaping up to be an interesting preseason race. Moving to James the Eagle, he's trying to find an extra bit of pace to take over from his teammate, who apparently is a minute ahead of James the Eagle. I don't know. Apparently he is. Anyway, he just needs to stay within that second range. He's ever so close to his teammate. He's gonna really have a big push now with the DRS enabled. Boss is the fastest lap of the session so far on those mediums. And K. Not Gonna Lie comes into the pits, probably due to some damage. Let's go over to that real quick. We don't know. Probably some damage. Probably some probably drive-through penalty. I'm not too sure. But the Hasses right now going for a good spell, decent little spell. Nathaniel Perrin having a very good start. So is Det Totsia. Can't speak it. I can't say his name for the life of me. Oh, moving up 3 places. Biggest movers on the grid so far, alongside Quistro and Adam T. Too many numbers. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting start. I thought DRS would be enabled by now. It doesn't seem like it's gonna rain right now. So, but Racing Ryan moving up to the Mercedes of Stav. He's only 4 tenths behind, but so is the rest of the grid. They're very punched together. Between third to 7th, they're all within that DRS range of each other. There's a massive DRS train going on actually right now between from 2nd to around 9th. And we have a problem in Sector 2, and that's K. Not Gonna Lie. He's out of the session. And the dreaded, I swear to God, dreaded. I think it's a virtual safety car. Alright, not too bad. It's a virtual. Because I swear to you, that was a normal safety car to kill him. Oh, Quistro comes into the pits. He's the first to pits. I wonder what he's going to go into. Let's check out the tires real quick. People coming to the pits right now. We're going to move it to the boss. Maybe a set of new set of mediums. Nathaniel Karen coming also into the pits. And Quistro, a new set of hards. He's coming out to finish his race. Nathaniel Perrin going for the mediums. A little bit of a switch between those 2 drivers out there. And K. Not Gonna Lie was out on new hards. I don't know what happened there. Probably a retirement. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna check the Discord just to make sure. But anyway, racing has resumed. Bossmon's getting a really rapid start away. And Dead's Tots out of the map, DNFing as well. Seems to have maybe a crash. Not too sure, but it seems like he's DNF'd. He's out of the session. I have missed that. Apologies for that. We're going to move over to Stav as he gains really, really close to Adam T. Too many numbers. Can he get the move done in any time? Finally apparent a 3-second time penalty. That's invalidating track limits. He's been struggling all throughout this track today, throughout qualifying and throughout the race. Clearly, 4 laps in, already get that 3-second time penalty. So is James the Eagle, 2-second time penalty. And Stav, he just need to stay. He's just gonna need to stay focused. If he can get out a really, really good corner exit here, and he can get this move done, he's gonna have a really great slipstream coming up this straight. James the Eagle coming into the pits, probably due to some damage, maybe from dead tots. Not too sure. Doesn't seem like the window's open just about yet. But he's using his ERS deployment. You're trying to get ever closer. This is where he might get this move done. He just needs to stay in that strip scene, and it doesn't matter. It's just a massive DRS train. Now it's closed down, but it's still quite a big DRS train between 2nd and 5th. And Nathaniel Perrin all the way down into 10th. He just hasn't got a handle on this race so far. And to be honest, he's really out bossing the grid right now. 2.3 seconds ahead of second place. Nexon regained second place, but probably a bit disappointed from what a qualifying session he had. Finished started on pole position, dropped down quite a way before, and he just recovered himself. But wait a second, whoa, boss has spun out. It's the curse. It's the actual curse. I'm actually convinced I'm cursed. He spun out. He's gone to P6 and Nexon, and he's blew this race wide open. Nexon is in first place. But maybe startle some of the drivers and could leave some drivers prone to some attacks. Nathaniel Perrin obviously losing time, but Racing Ryan and the rest of the grid, realistically, top 4 are in it for a chance to lead this race. If they play their strategies right, they could really outplay the grid here. Such a big difference between the top 4 and the rest of the grid. Even if you look at down on the map, nearly 5 seconds in between 4th and 5th. But ever so close between everyone else above that. What a shot we have down here from the cars coming down the straight. And I wonder when DRS is going to be in use. It probably is in use, to be honest. I'm just really blind. Pass through the detection zone now. As boss comes into the pits, probably due to some damage, moves him down all the way from 10th. And our race leader drops his position all the way down to bottom. Adam T22 numbers is using DRS. He could get this move done down the straight. He tries to take the inside, doesn't have that extra space to get the move done. He's gonna have to hold out a bit longer because, as it stands, Nexon holds out. And it seems like a gap is between the game, and Distav gets himself out of that DRS zone and leaves himself out for prone for an attack. But you know what? The McLaren has a better corner exit here. Try to get a move down that outside line, but he slams the door wide, slams shut. The Alfa Romeo does, and he's not giving up. The Adam could very well get him down, coming on past into sector 3. I would not be surprised that he's got to be careful not to ride those corners. That's a massive problem here in Belgium. If you ride those corners a bit too much, you will spin out. We've seen it already with some of the drivers. Boss, probably the drivers who have DNF'd already. We're coming past the back markers, I think. Back markers? No, sorry, I'm just confusing myself. But next in building out that lead, but the Mercedes really edging him now as he's coming through this last straight to the chicane. Doesn't have that much space, but he just if he gets a good corner exit here with the help of DRS, but Racing Ryan might be right back into it. It seems like right back in the mix of things. There was a bad, probably a bit early on the break from Stav, and he's not gonna be able to get this move done now. However, going on to a Rug, because that's how I say it, he could get this move done. He's gonna have a massive slipstream as he passes through this DRS detection zone. If he can stay within the range needed, he's gonna get this move done. Triple as DRS deployed, probably maybe a bit of ERS to get this move finalized. It doesn't seem like he's that close. But Adam's back into it. He's gained some valuable time on the Alfa Romeo, and it seems like maybe a bit slow off the corners. Maybe Adams. I think the car setup maybe just played just a little too much heavily on the corners, and next thing just wickedly fast on those straights. Really sorry, not on the straights, on the corners. Probably Adam played too much on the straights. Because that next thing wickedly fast after those corners exit. You can see Adam's teammate Boss all the way up 18 seconds behind the rest of the pack. And the undercut might be in play, maybe to push up the grid, but D. McManaman, a 3-second time penalty, probably not for exceeding track limits. James the Eagle moves back down. He's going a bit slow, probably spins out, or maybe a little bit of a collision with someone. But Nathaniel Perrin and Quistos, tell them thank you very much. Conor McGregor commentator. Thank you. I guess. D. McManaman. Oh, and Nexon's out. Nexon is spun out. He's moved down in the P6. What's going on in this preseason race, huh? This is mental. Adding two T220, too many numbers, as I keep on saying. Stays in goes up in the P1 staff, and the rest of the grid, thank you very much. And they move up a place at the expense of Nexon. So right now, the two leaders we've had throughout this race both spin out, probably both at the same corner. Down at the P10 and P9 doesn't seem like any bad enough of damage from Nexon, so stays down in P8. I don't know if that's a roast or a compliment. I'm gonna think it's a compliment. But Stav, someone going slow here, probably the Alpine. The Alpine of Nathaniel Perrin going a bit slow, it seems like. Am I just tripping? I'm tripping. Anyway, Stav trying to make the move down the outside. Can he get this move done on the McLaren? He just edges past him, and Stav takes the lead in Belgium. Boss gets the fastest lap of the session so far in those hard tires. But Adam is not going to back down from this one. He's going to have a bit of work to do, though, and he might have to pull out just for now. Stav is in lead in Belgium. I tell you what, it's been a real race of problems, especially probably due to riding those corners. It's extremely crucial that you get the corners, especially on a certain section. I can't remember what section is, but the certain section where it's a bit too high of a corner to ride, and it will turn your car inside out like some Swiss cheese, genuinely. Conor McGregor. And at this time as well, Argentina are playing Poland, so kind of interesting to see. Anyway, race recap. The top three so far: Stav in P1, Adam in P2, Racing Ryan, showing the rest of the grid how it's done, rounding up the podium positions. D. McManaman P5, Hamasuk P5, sorry, D. McManaman is P4, and Boss is out. Could that be a safety car? Yes, he's out of the session. He's fully out. That's a safety car for sure. A big crash for the Boss. And he's been downgraded to an employer, as it seems like he's out of Belgium. And we're going to start seeing some cars pit now. This could be a prime opportunity for some of those cars who haven't pitted before to really push up the pack. James Eagle, unfortunately, he pitted before, and he's going to have to pit. He's going to pit again, probably for some mediums. Maybe next thing comes out in some hards. So he's going to look out to finish the race on those laps. Quistro, a lot of the drivers choosing to stay out, not pitting. Oh no, James Eagle comes out in mediums. I thought he just pitted. He did just pit. I'm very confused in the fellow. And we have three. Now we do have 3 laps of just sitting back and enjoying the scenery here in Spa. So, 3 DNFs, a bit of spin hectic, might call it bumper cars. However, that's the race today. So we got Stav out in front. I tell you what, staying in first place right now is like a poison chalice. Got Nexon having a really bad start, Boss spinning out, and obviously eventually crashing out. Can the same happen to Stav? Um, Probably could. He's coming into pits now. Maybe for some hards. Probably for some hards. It would make sense. I wouldn't see him on a new set of mediums. Nathaniel Paris in this race. So is Hammersuk. The Alpines sitting comfortably at 5 and 6. Remember, Nathaniel is the only one left on that grid with a penalty. No, I'm joking. I think McManaman's got a penalty as well. The rest, most of the grid comes into the thing, and I'm pretty sure it's for some hards. Yes, everyone coming in for a new some fresh hard tires. So is McLaren Perrin. Obviously, he was on those mediums along with Hammersuck. Maybe Hammersuck pit for some mediums. Seemed like it was a double stack pit. So we have Stav, Adam, Racing, Ryan, and McManaman on hard tires. We have Hammersuck and Nathaniel. Voice crack. Nathaniel on mediums, so is James the Eagle, and Nexton and Quistro deciding to stay out. Interesting. A very interesting race. We've got 12 laps of racing remaining. I hurry a bit less. Move over to Stav with me there right now under this safety car. So everyone's in the stream doing right now, enjoying the show. I know the quality is a bit, it sucks a bit. I don't know why. Hopefully next time I stream it is sorted, and I apologize for that. It looks like something out of a Cracker Barrel. I know. I don't know why. Boom, 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 boom. Tires. I did show tires. I did show the tires. It was this. Most track pitted for hards. Three pitted for two pitted for mediums. James the Eagle. No, three pitted for mediums. Two drivers opted to stay out. Now I look at it. I think that person did pit. So Quisto is the only one that has not pitted. The rest of the pack have pitted. I'm pretty sure that's. I did go through that. Yeah, James the Eagle pits now, so some hards. I'm assuming safety car is in this lap. Yep, safety car is in this lap. We will resume racing nearly on the way. Obviously, no overtaking before the checkered line. Argentina winning 2-0. Pretty juicy. All right, racing on the way. I'm sorry, tires are not gonna be shown. Cool. Let's finish. Pretty early for them to come in, I think. Like as in pretty far back. Safety cars already in. So we'll have 10 laps of racing, and Stab is gonna need a really good breakaway here to lead away from the pack. He's just gonna have to time this perfectly. As soon as he passes this corner, racing gets resumed. I think he's gonna have to break away from that slipstream, and he has to go to a decent enough start. Use that ERS to try break away a bit more. Adam's still in second place, but Nathaniel Perrin trying to make a move on his teammate. He gets that move down right before the corner, and he's trying to make an assault on the Ferrari D McManaman as he stays. He's aiming really close in one lap. He could gain these two positions in one sector. He's just gonna be careful, keep that car that nose clean. Marriage stands. He's a bit behind. Stav already breaking that DRS barrier 1 second ahead. Starting off to a really good start, and Nathaniel Perrin edging that move, and he could get this move done now. It takes the inside line, and I think he's got the move done. He moves ahead of McManaman, moves up in the P5. Remember, he's got that penalty. It doesn't affect McManaman, but it might affect his teammate Hammersock. But as it stands, he moves up in the P5. Good stuff from the Brit. Move over to Racing Ryan though, trying to push Adam to the limit. He needs to wait for that DI. He just needs to keep in that little thing. Quistro, a second off the pace, maybe staying out. Might not have been the best option. He's on pretty old tires, and Nathaniel Perrin is really pushing the limit here. He could get up in the P4 in one move, but we can't. We have to stay with Racing Ryan. He's getting a really good slipstream down here, and if he gets decent exit enough of the chicane. Obviously, DRS is not enabled just of yet. However, he's going to use that bit of ERS deployment. A bit of a slower exit, maybe. It just breaks away just a little bit away from the Nathaniel Perrin, though. Trying to make the move down the inside. Ooh, that's a close one. He's going to be careful not to make contact there. The Alpine driver on the Aston Martin. Kind of like Fernando Alonso with Sebastian Vettel this year kind of thing. Maybe a move to Aston Martin might be in the books for him if he keeps on going like this. But he has a good slipstream coming out of here. He's going to probably try to make a move down the inside. It just doesn't have that pace. Just doesn't have enough pace down the straight. And it's really late braking there by him. Nearly gets ahead of the Aston Martin driver. As it stands, P5 for Nathaniel Perrin. He's really gaining on him, and he could get the move done now. He's trying to get the inside line. It's great stuff from the Alpine driver, and he's just ahead of the Aston Martin. Ooh, he slams that door shut. Quistro stays P4. It's some great defense right now from the Aston Martin driver under immense pressure from the Alpine driver, and it's gonna continue. Probably they're gonna be careful for their tires and probably careful on the corners. McManaman is probably giving McManaman an opportunity to push now. 3/10 behind Nathaniel Perrin. It's seems like a nearly three-way, four-way. Hammersock is coming into the mix of things as well, just behind that Ferrari. And he's trying to get that move done. It seems like he's got the move done. He goes down the inside. Nathaniel Perrin moves up in the P4. Mediums might have been the good choice, and really pushing out the pack now. He might have played his strategy correct. He's going to be careful for the later stint, though. And not to push too hard and really ruin those tires. DRS is now enabled. He's going to be a bit vulnerable here, remember, to an attack from Quistro. Maybe Quistro is vulnerable himself. McManaman on the fresher tires doesn't seem to have a hammer suck on those mediums. Watch out for the Alpines, seeming to be the only two on the mediums right now. Maybe play their strategies right. Obviously, Stav takes himself out of any DRS trouble at all. 1.5, James the Eagle gets a 3-second time penalty due to exceeding track limits. So it's a problem we've seen throughout this whole race, honestly. That's what preseason is for, but it's something that has been apparent with most of the cars on the track. And finally just breaking away, nearly taking himself out of DRS trouble himself and gaining on Racing Ryan. A bit so slowly. Get himself in that 1 second. If he can get himself in the DRS zone, surely he gets the move done. Quistro's just gonna really need some good defense here if he's gonna keep himself out. Maybe, as we said, maybe pitting should have been choice. Maybe for a pit of hard. Maybe if he hopes for another set of maybe a safety car. Safety car could be it. Comes in for some softs probably. If it's later on, Fanbrand gets a purple sector 2. Really on for a fastest lap right now. Proving Mr. Consistency once again. McManaman really gaining on the Aston Martin driver. He's trying to make the move down the inside, and he gets that move done. But the Aston Martin driver might get that inside line before him, and the Alpine driver trying to take advantage of a mistake from them. And so is James the Eagle. It could be a four-way battle right now coming into this corner. It seems like McManaman is just enough away from him, but could leave him prone. The Aston Martin driver prone to another attack by the Alpine. And speaking of Alpine drivers, Nathaniel Perrin brings himself into that DRS zone against Racing Ryan. Obviously, Racing Ryan in DRS zone, so it probably needs Adam just to push that bit more, and takes himself out. Not quite enough. Oh, Quistro gets that move done, and it's just back and forth. He pushes probably Quistro. Maybe Quistro goes a bit wide there, loses out to 2 positions. McManaman goes up in the P5. Hammersack capitalizes, moves up in the P6. Not sure what happened there. I don't know if he kind of went off wide himself or maybe pushed wide. I'd need another look at that. But P7 for Quistro right now. And obviously one of the stronger drivers on the grid today as well was Boss and Nexton down near the back of the pack. Very interesting what Belgium can do sometimes, do you know? And James the Eagle as well. On those fresher hard tires, could really get this move done as well. Before the corner, you can get a good slipstream. Probably just needs a bit more. However, DRS enabled. He's well and truly in that zone. This could be it for Quistro's P7 run. He could drop down to P8 in a matter of a second. Quistro seems just to be that bit faster than the Haas driver. Racing Ryan out of that DRS zone. We move over to Nathaniel Perrin. Coming up on this straight. He could have enough power, could have enough juice to make the move down on Racing Ryan. He goes down the inside. It seems like he's moved this Alpine car up in the P3. A nifty little drive from the Brit, might I say so. And he's putting himself back in the mix of things. Maybe the correct strategy call here was really showing him out, especially to his teammate Hammersuck, who could be making a move as well down onto D. McManaman. Maybe just a bit more pace is needed, just a bit more. And he should have him by probably the second DRS zone next lap. If he finally keeps up with his pace, he'll be challenging Staff for the win at this rate. James Eagle still saying 3/10 behind Quistro. Obviously, remember, he's got that penalty, 2-second penalty, so but still, next and really far behind the pack. 18 seconds behind James the Eagle. Fanny Perrin really pushing, really nearly getting his car into a DRS zone for an attack on the McLaren of Adam T2 too many numbers. Ooh, and he goes a bit wide, the Alpine driver Hammerstock there, and Quister takes advantage, and he moves up in a P6. A bit of a howler there from the Alpine driver, but nevertheless he goes into P7. James the Eagle right on his tail as well. Could see a move done on the next DRS zone. Racing Lion also puts his hat into a DRS zone against Nathaniel Perrin. Needs to push a bit harder, Nathaniel Perrin, and get himself out of that range. Which seems like just the medium tires of Hammerstock is saving him here, and could probably inch that car ever so close, but it's just not enough so far. Racing Ryan gets another 3-second penalty. Probably the first one. Now he gets another 3-second penalty. That's 6 seconds for him. That really could dent his push against Nathaniel Perrin. Nonetheless, he gets himself out of that DRS zone as well. James the Eagle just always staying with that 3/10, and he goes a bit wide. They're coming out of the exit. Probably there's this time a bit more. Wouldn't be surprised if we see another probably another track limits for the Haas driver. Move over to our race leader Stav, having a pretty quiet race so far. Nothing to report home to be honest with you. Just having a clean race, just keeping his car out of trouble. And Adam is now in the DRS zone. It's a bit of a slow exit for the Mercedes driver, and could see himself a bit more energetic, more into it now. He's really some slow exits out here. Not too sure why that is, but he's gained 0.2 of a second in the matter of in the space of a few corners. I think the car is just a bit too fast in those straights, and that's where he's making up the time. Stav really having that set up his car perfectly for those straights. Yeah, it seems like the race is settling a bit down now. Seeing the grid is starting to shape up how it is, and probably will be not a lot of changes until the end. However, never say never. All it takes is for one little spin and one little a little bit of understeer to change everything in this whole race. So you want to stay tuned to this, but anyway. Move over to his chasing rival as it stands, Adam T232323. I'm going to say his name for once. McLaren just probably needing a bit extra more out of the car. Need to push. He needs to find a bit more pace in the car, especially in the corners. Not in the corner. Yeah, he needs to find extra in the corners, because it seems like the Mercedes is a bit too fast on the straights. It's a question of what could have been for Quistro if he had pitted, maybe for some mediums. And as well as that, Nathaniel Perrin is also finding himself in a bit of a nifty little position right now. So yeah. Ooh, Hammerstock's out of the race. Hammerstock's had an incident and he's out of the race. Possibly won't be a safety car. Bit too late in the race for that to happen. But the Alpine driver is out. I don't think we'll get a look at that. No, we won't. Oh, is it a safety car? Yes, safety car. Surprisingly, I thought we were too late in the race for that. Probably one or two, and maybe no one's surely going to pit. It's a bit too late for pitting now, but fastest lap of the session? Who cares? This might play out in Nathaniel's favor. Just depending on the degradation of those tires. If we manage this well, he could be in the hot seat here to really make a charge forward. Oh, and they're coming to pits. Okay. Probably for some softs, surely, yeah. Coming in for the softs. The whole grid pitting for softs. And Nexton stays out, it seems like, so far. I think he's a bit too far back to pit yet. But Quistro regain. Oh, Quistro doesn't pit. Interesting. Quistro and James the Eagle stay out, and I think that might be a bit of the wrong move. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. They're gonna be prone to some attacks here. They're gonna need to defend really well here. Depends how much. You probably have 2 laps of racing, so save the car in this lap. Probably safety car in this lap, surely. Interesting decisions by 2 of the drivers in the grid. Next, and obviously not needing to pit, because to be honest, he's a bit far behind to really make a difference, I think. We're going to rejoin Quistro, who now is leading the Grand Prix. It depends how much laps we have, because I thought this was too late for a safety car, to be honest with you. Yeah, safety car is in this lap, so we're going to have two laps of racing. That's what I thought we'd have, to be honest with you. I must have mixed it up myself. So, Quistro and James Eagle, maybe Quistro might benefit here. He's just going to have to use James the Eagle as a sort of barrier in between and just try and get away as much as he can. He's on a very old set of tires. Near the beginning of this race, he pitted on them for lap 4, to be honest. And they must be holding up. They surely can't be holding up that well. Anyway, even defending against the fresh, soft tires, this is going to be very, very hard for the driver. Anyway, coming through this corner, racing is resumed. Quistro tries to get as fast as he can away as possible. He gets quite a good breakaway from James Eagle, but Stav is already gaining on James Eagle. He's only 2 tenths behind. Nathaniel Perrin having quite a decent restart as well. Adam having a better restart, it seems like. And Stav could get this move done as early as now, as he comes up this straight. All he's going to need is that extra push. There's no DRS enabled, I remind you that. But all he needs is that extra help of VRS, and he could get this move done before the next corner. He's trying to go around the outside. Ooh, the McLaren comes in between. And a risky move from the McLaren. Nathaniel moves up all the way into P4. James Eagle drops down all the way to P5 in a one corner. And Quistro is going to be insanely prone to it. A lot of attacks here. I'm going to pardon my French. I'm not going to swear right now, but that was insane. In a matter of one corner, James the Eagle drops 3 places. Mental. Absolutely mental. But everyone is pushing for their lives here. Obviously, remember, there's no help of DRS, so there's no DRS train going on right now. There's no choo-choo for anyone right now. Thomas the Tank Engine stays back in the terminal. But Sam Quistro keeping them just quite a bit behind. But however, this could change. In this straight, is he going to have the use of ERS? He's trying to go down the outside. He doesn't have that little bit of pace. Quistro playing absolutely perfectly so far. And just can't catch him, Stav. As he tries to make the move down the outside. Quistro stays ahead. And we're going to come into the final lap of this session with Quistro ahead. And Stav gonna need to push for the all almighty. However, Adam could get this move down now. He's trying to make down the move out the outside. He's just back and forth. And Adam has to go a bit wide and could leave an advantage for Nathaniel Perrin as he tries to make the move down the outside as well. He just hasn't got the pace and stays in P4. And Quistro doing ever so well to stay out in P3. Obviously, there's going to be guns blazing right now. Everyone's going to use the ERS to the full. There's nothing to be left. You don't need to leave anything on the track. Push like hell. James Eagle moves up into P5 instead of racing Ryan. Overtakes his teammate. Franny Perrin stays on P4. The Stav around 2 tenths behind. Racing Ryan gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. Trying to go around the outside on the McLaren. The McLaren gets the inside line and moves up into P2. Stav loses out. Down the P3. And as it stands, Quistro is winning this Grand Prix. An incredible strategy by the Aston Martin driver. Out on these 18-lap old hard tires, out of the depths of hell, could be on for an incredible result here. It's a 4-way battle right now. James Eagle seems to be a bit out of it. Unless something major can happen, it seems like Quistro is staying ahead of everyone right now. Oh, and Stav overtakes Adam. Couldn't catch that through that corner. Camera angle messed up a bit there. Didn't expect that to be damn harsh. But anyway, it doesn't matter because as it stands. Oh, and a late braking from the Mercedes. But the Aston Martin Quistro stays ahead. But it could be down to the wire here. It's gonna be 3 wide. And I think Quistro's about to take it. Adam comes in second. Quistro takes the win in Belgium in a stunning end to that race. It could have been anyone, honestly, and what a strategy. Absolutely perfectly played by the Aston Martin driver. Credit to the team, credit to anyone. That was incredible. And an incredible finish, and what a race. Generally, anyone in that final 3 could have won that, and that was incredible. Fantastic stuff. And there we have it. That's the race done. Stav's going to be fuming probably, going down to P3. Great drive from Adam as well, go down to P2. But you know what? I know he's giving it to Nathaniel Perrin. He's had a great race, and he's probably up there for driver of the day. But Stav, that strategy call, that safety car to stay out, not pit for those softs. Probably pits on those softs, doesn't win it. But like the defense, just the absolute resilience to stay in front. For me, that's driver of the day material right there, to be honest with you. It's between him and Nathaniel because Nathaniel, coming from a really bad qualifying, moves all the way up in the P4 and possibly could have challenged a bit harder for P3 and P2. However, it doesn't matter because it's Quistro's day today. Starts on P4 on the grid, has 1 stop, plays the 1 stop to perfection and wins the race here at Spa. Thank you guys for watching. It's been an honor. Sorry about the quality and a bit of the technical difficulties. Apologize for my end. Hopefully when I stream again, it would be a bit better quality. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It was an incredible race from start to finish. Qualifying was really good as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Damn, I know you're his thing, but damn, that was incredible strat. Incredible. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this edition of DTR preseason Division 2 Season 5. Join us back next week for a start of the season.